Three, two, are you ready?
Welcome back to another Hard Way Wrestling. It is. Oh shit, Scott. Oh, let's. First off, if you're gonna flex your butt, you gotta bring the sleeves up all the way, and then you put them up. Then you put them up.
Bringing the guns.
Oh my goodness! If I think your shoulder blades touched.
Yeah. No, that's not possible. My back's too wide.
Welcome back to Hard Way Wrestling. It is Free for All Friday. I'm here with some of my favorite people in the whole wide world, and since they're not here, I'm here with Scotty and Ricky. What's up, boys?
Thank God you didn't release us yet.
Yeah, I mean there is. We are going to announce here right off the top that Wyatt has been released from Hard Way Wrestling. Good luck with your future endeavors.
Not with Endeavor.
Not in Denver.
Not Denver either.
Not in Denver. Let's make sure that we are live on Facebook. We are live on Facebook.
Live on the book.
We are on the book.
And we're live on YouTube.
We're on the tube. Hey, I hit all the buttons so I get to stay around a little bit longer.
Except for
We got
you
a
did
book.
one stupid thing.
What did I do?
You forgot to change the title of it. It says Monday Madness.
Did I? It was supposed to. I thought I changed it. It must not have saved.
Nope. It's showing Monday. Oh yeah, Monday Madness.
Oh, wait a minute. I got it. Hold on. Check it now, sir. Check it now.
Let's see. I mean, I don't think the notification is going to pop up again, but let's see.
Yeah, check it now. Refresh that bad boy.
Where's my YouTubes?
On the tubes.
Where's my tube?
We're on a tube and a book. All we need now is the cock.
I mean, we were working. I forgot to hit save so it would post it.
Yeah, there it is.
We're releasing Wyatt, but actually, it's very possible we're going to redo Wyatt's contract, and we could bring him back in a couple weeks. So, but he is on a 90-day no compete. And he is just collecting his downside guarantee. So, you never know. You never know. He's Wyatt is our Emma. Here today, gone tomorrow, and back again. We just announced that we are doing a live Hardway show in the Mount Airy area, and then now we're gonna not have Wyatt on because he lives in the Mount Airy area, right?
Damascus.
Damascus, okay, yeah, because they just announced that they were going to Australia for one of their pay-per-views. Is that what it is? Elimination Chamber,
February 24th.
And we'll get to all the eliminations. Speaking of eliminations, we'll get to all those later. But Emma had tweeted that she was very excited that they were bringing WWE to Australia, and then her next tweet was, "Never mind, they released me."
Yeah, exactly.
So, which was very sad. So, all right. First off, let's start out with we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. We're going to talk about Jon Moxley. We're going to talk about Eddie Kingston finally finishing his story, and then we're going to get into USA or not USA, but Raw. Maybe they will not have a home to go to, and then we're going to get into all of the WWE releases that we just had yesterday, and possibly more to come by the end of the weekend.
Oh man!
So, first we're going to start with Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley just won the International Championship. It was their main event at their last pay-per-view, All Out, and because of a poorly timed jump by Rey Fenix and a bad spot, being in a bad spot for Jon Moxley, he is concussed and cannot. He continued to match. But he ended up dropping the belt to Phoenix.
Yeah.
So, did you guys
to watch?
Did you catch the match?
I didn't catch the match. I just caught the clip of the botch, and
Yeah.
boy,
So so if you go back and look at some of the videos, a lot of people were posting, "Oh, it was because of the sit out power bar, power driver or whatever," but it wasn't. There was earlier in the match, like very early, they were on the outside fighting, and Phoenix did a dive and landed on Mox, and as Mox went down, his head slapped off the ground, and
Rey Mysterio.
he was fucking gone.
Or not it was Mysterio that had the same thing happen to him in his match where he had the Ricochet head smack and knocked himself out.
That was just recently, right? That was in that match
about a month or so ago.
Match with Escobar. Yeah. So Mox is out. He actually, if you go back and watch the video, wrestlers, when they do stuff like that or something happens and they're not sure about the guy that they're in there dancing with, they'll reach over, they'll squeeze their hand. They'll give him a little squeeze. If the guy squeezes back, we're good to go. Ray squeezed his hand. You can actually see him like crawl over to Mox and squeeze his hand. I did not see Mox squeeze his hand back. And I guess there is a language barrier when it comes to squeezing hands. And he went on to try to pick Moxley up a few times.
Phoenix is a little guy to be picking Moxley up.
Well, you could tell that Mox was out. Like, he could not get on his feet. And then Phoenix went on to chop the absolute shit out of him. So, and then the match ended up with the 2 sit-out power bombs. The big problem is, as a referee, now Rick Knox is a seasoned vet. He's been around a long time. He's one of AEW's top referees. He's no Brandon. I'm going to tell you that. He's no Brandon.
Brandon's much better. Brandon is much better.
I don't think so.
Knocks out Jonathan Cross.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's all horseshit. But anyway, as a referee, you have to be aware of what's going on at all times. You have to be in communication with the back, with the people in your ear. You just have to know what's going on at all times. Scotty, did Rick Knox check out? Was he thinking about Taco Bell after the what was going through his mind?
Okay, so here's my take on Knox, and you say he's an experienced referee and stuff like that. Again, I'm going to be called a Cornetteite here, but Cornette called it corporate referee, and I agree. Every time I watch, Rick Knox is checked out, but that's also because 90% of the time, Rick Knox is doing the Young Bucks matches when he is refereeing. That's 90% of the matches we see him refereeing. And he has to check out because Young Bucks never follow the rules. There's constant double teams. So what's the point of being there to be the ref to enforce the rules when there's no reason to enforce the rules in the match? But that being said, that his style of refereeing does lend itself to a Moxley match, to a Phoenix match. So the guys who just kind of go flippity fly and do whatever, they don't care. So honestly, when I watched, some of the stuff back, the couple of clips I saw of him just kind of standing there, it's like, I mean, that's what he does. He just stands there. He doesn't. There's no count. There's no even appearance of him trying to, one, be a referee, but two, do the things you think he would do. Like when we watch guys like a Mike Chioda from the old days, or a Earl Hebner, or guys who literally, were always communicating with the wrestlers in the ring, making it look legitimate for one, and two, legitimately checking on their welfare during a match if something looked like it went wrong. You didn't see any of that out of Knox, and it's like, but again, like I said, this is his style. He's not a referee, at least from my perspective, in the sense of what a referee has always been portrayed as. And, like you said, in the wrestling business, you've got to be in communication with the people in the back. You got to be in communication with the guys in the ring, making sure everybody's okay. Especially when these guys are doing stupid stuff that could get them killed in some respects. I mean, again, not to put a fine point on it, but we've seen in the last couple of years, we've seen a guy break his neck in the ring. Big E guy hasn't come back to wrestle as of yet. When you're doing stuff in the ring that could legitimately hurt or kill you, you as a referee should be checking. I mean, a referee is somebody that it's like a shepherd. You herd your sheep. You check on the flock to make sure the flock is doing good. He didn't do any of that. So yeah, but like I said, that's his typical MO. So
Ricky, what is your
I
thoughts
think
on?
I think Moxley would have been fine had he been slammed down on a bed of nails and possibly some skewers.
Well, you knew he had to be concussed, right? Because he wasn't bleeding,
That is true. That
right?
is true.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot less of Moxley's blood here lately, and then when he does get bleeding again, like his match against Big Bill, I mean, he was letting it go that night. This shit was pouring.
Well,
Yeah, the ref's got to be more alert, and especially when you got a size difference like Ray Phoenix and John Moxley, who's got him in weight by quite a bit. I mean, he's got to be aware, especially if Moxley can barely stand up. He's got to step in and do something.
and honestly, that's where
you need somebody like a Jericho, somebody who's always looked out for his, as you said, dance partner,
yeah.
and has always noticed when something bad has happened and can go off script and do something to kind of prevent more injury from happening.
Oh, what about the guys around the ring too? You have your medical staff that's around the ring. You have your cameramen that's around the ring. Now, as much as you don't think that these guys are involved, they are absolutely involved because sometimes these guys are giving cues also.
Yeah.
So it is really, when it comes to a big production like WWE or AEW, not so much ATCW. There's a couple guys around the ring, but most of them are just standing there picking their nose like I do. You have to be like, it's a group effort. So obviously Rick Knox didn't see he could have had a weird angle because I only saw Mox's head from the back angle hit the ground, and that was it. There was another angle that I saw you couldn't tell. So I don't know what Rick Knox's angle was, but I promise you, that show is being monitored not only on the floor but in the back room in Gorilla or Mongo or whatever they call it in AEW. So it is definitely a group effort. I just don't know how that match continued as long as it did with nobody letting Rick Knox know what was going on.
Well, and not only that, like
maybe he hit the back of his head on the air that was behind him and knocked himself out.
Yeah. Well, I do agree that Rick Knox probably should wear an outfit that doesn't make him look like he's swimming in it, Scotty. I know I heard you make the comment about him being like Skeletor or
the corpse ref.
The corpse ref, but he's just a thinner guy, man. Don't be hating, bro.
But the other thing though is, and again, like you said, there are people in the back monitoring. Like I guarantee you, even if Tony Khan, who doesn't know his butt from a hole in the ground sometimes, he has staff. He has staff back there that are probably watching the monitors as well. And, whether it's fellow wrestlers, agents, people who've been in the business for
Kenny the Bucks and Dave Meltzer.
You're probably right. But, overall, if let's say an Arn Anderson was back there or, I don't know, any of the legends that are back there, if they were watching the monitor and they saw that, they would have known immediately that he was done and gone, that Moxley was out. And they would have told, if they didn't tell Tony Khan to stop the match right there, or at least get somebody out there that, radio the medic to get over there and take a look at him, that's what I'm saying. Why, like you said, why wasn't it communicated to Knox, first of all? But second of all, why wasn't there somebody else around the ring? Like, why didn't they, the medics got an IFB, right? I mean, usually most of the medics do.
Yeah.
So you figure, call the medics. Hey, get over there. Take a look at them. Like, why did the match go on as long as it did? So that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And most of the time, and shit, first off, shit happens, right?
Oh, yeah.
Things happen. I remember we were just shooting a studio show for one of these companies, and the guy that I was managing, Chris Hyde, bulldozed LA Star, and LA Star and I were arguing on the ring, or arguing up, and you remember that?
Yeah.
LA's head went through my mouth, split him wide open, like he was bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
And my lip,
I remember when you came in that morning and you had the fat lip going on.
Yeah, I mean, I was, they fucked me up, but that's what shit happens. Yeah. But and usually AEW is really good about things because there's been tons of injuries over the years. Especially with AEW with all the flips and the whatever. But I mean, is it possible that they thought that this is just another Jon Moxley sell job?
I mean,
possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, he always does shit in the ring that would make you think he's going to kill himself between skewers and barbed wire and nails and whatever.
He did sell the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Of course he does.
He did sell it. So.
I mean, and the other thing is maybe Moxley's got a standing order. I mean, he thinks he's this big star, so he's like, whatever happens, don't bring the ref over, don't bring just let me do like. He does, like, if I'm knocked out for 4 minutes, just let me.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure if you go back and you look at the end of the match where he did the sit out power driver the first time, and Rick Knox did not count 3. See, that's where right there is where you just know that as a referee, when a guy doesn't get his shoulders up, and even though that's not the finish, you have to continue to count to 3. If they don't get for some reason they don't get their shoulder up, it's on them.
Yeah.
And it makes and wrestling is predetermined. We all know who's going to win at the end of the night for the most part. Things do change in the middle of the match, like what happened there. But how he didn't know at that point when Moxley looked up and said, "Fuck you." Why did you not count to 3? And then he ended up going through another sit out power driver, which I don't know if the second one is as bad, but the first one looked.
The first one was horrible.
Horrible. I mean, and again, Phoenix is a strong guy, but he's still holding a guy that's got it 40 pounds heavier.
Yeah, that would be like me trying to pick you up. I mean, you're not like a big guy, but compared to me, you're bigger than me.
Yeah, no, I mean, what do you weigh, Ricky? About $160?
Yeah, roughly 160 area.
Yeah, and I'm 215, 220, depending on how many cheeseburgers I eat for the day. So if you put me on your shoulder and you do a sit out driver, a Meltzer driver, or a sit out Phoenix bomb, or whatever they're gonna call it, we're compressed. You're compressed, bro. You're gonna be your ass is going down, your shoulders are going down, everything's going down, and probably my neck.
Like a foot shorter than Moxley too.
Correct, yeah.
He is not a tall guy.
Mox has a long torso, so that did not help either. So it was just a clusterfuck of events. So
and honestly, with the fact that Mox was probably still even by that point in the match where he'd gotten his bearings back together somewhat, like he's probably still half dead weight. So the thing that to be thankful about is that they didn't have an Owen Hart Steve Austin situation where the pile driver went wrong and compressed Mox's neck.
Yeah, and he didn't end up with a stinger, some sort of stinger. But would he must not have been awake enough or alert enough to tell Rick Knox, "Hey, yo, I'm fucked up here. We're gonna have to go home here. We're gonna have to finish this somehow." So,
or again, and here's the other thing.
And maybe he did. Maybe that's why he told Rick Knox, "Fuck you."
Who knows? But see, here's the thing. The one thing I go back to what I said a second ago. I kind of want now. There's 2 ways to look at it. Moxley did say, "Fuck you" to the ref towards the end of that, but. Mox has such an ego that even if he's hurt, he's still going to find a way to try to finish just because he wants to be on camera and doing his shtick.
See, I don't agree. I think Jon Moxley is, whether you like the way he wrestles or you like the things he does or his constant bleeding, like him or hate him, he's still a professional, right? And he's still got to protect himself, because if he doesn't protect himself, he cannot be a wrestler anymore. So at some point, Moxley, I would never say that Moxley just took it on himself and says, "Fuck this! I know my elbow's hanging off the side of my, I'm dying here. My ear's broken off, but I'm gonna continue." Like I guarantee you, once he started to get his wits about him, he was like, "Yo, we gotta get the fuck up out of here."
Yeah, I'd say the now over a year and so clean of alcohol Moxley knows his limits. I'd say the prior very drunk and alcoholic Moxley would have probably been trying to keep going.
And he was 30, 40 pounds heavier then because of drinking. So can you even imagine?
He would probably been half blitzed in the ring after hitting that flask a couple times coming out the entranceway through the crowd.
Well, either way, congratulations to Phoenix for doing what he had to do to get that belt. I actually hope they keep it on him for a while. I know Mox is, who knows how long Mox is going to be out for from a concussion. Let Phoenix make a little run here. Why not? It is tough though that belt was just in the main event. They made it the main event of a pay per view.
Like a month.
And no, it wasn't even a month. It was like what, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks of Mox's.
It seems like a month because there hasn't been any pay per views, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
It's coming. Well, we're getting ready to hit. We're getting ready to hit a bunch of pay per views. Yeah, we're getting ready to hit a bunch.
I remember how to do all the fantasy shit again.
Start them now. I would start them now. All right, we're gonna move on real quick here. We won't stay on this subject very long, but Eddie Kingston finally finishes the story. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. When is he going to beat Claudio? When is he going to finish his story? And he did it. I'm not sure if there's a guy that's any more deserving than Eddie Kingston. I'm not a big fan of I'm sure it's his character. Maybe it's not his character. From what I hear, it's not his character. But he's like a don't give a shit kind of guy. His promos are kind of and his gear is kind of but now he is. I'm hoping that he gets a pay bump here and we get him in a better outfit than that yellow and black singlet.
Wait a minute. Where is he from again?
Eddie Kingston, New York.
Yeah, well, that explains a lot right there. But no, like, I give Eddie Kingston all the credit in the world. I wish they had done this a couple years ago. Remember that Player Tribune article that they wrote about Eddie, and it blew him up. People loved him, and they were really like it was like the pop for Kingston was amazing back then. And then they just kind of let it slide. And he just kind of went, the pop kept getting less and less. And, he's been out a couple times, either injury or doing other stuff. And, he's come back, and the pop's kind of come back up, but not as much as it was after that original Player Tribune article. And I really think if they had done this sooner with Kingston, he would have been twice the star in AEW that he is now. And, I'm glad that they finished this with Claudio the way they did. I'm glad they put the belt on him the way they did, but I still think this should have been a long time coming. And
see, I don't think so. Did you know who Eddie Kingston was until he came to AEW?
No, I didn't. But that
Nope.
Player Tribune article is what kind of pushed him into my forefront, into my focus. Because I'm reading this article, I'm like, dude, this guy, he is who, he is what he is. He sounds exactly on the mic in the wrestling, just like he sounds in this article. He's not, there's no gimmick there. Hence why the whole, you say get him into better gear and stuff. He's not. He's a New York boy, born and bred. He's gonna be who, he's gonna be the slob. But that's, it's what works for him in a lot of ways. He just is,
He's like a 2.0 Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah, exactly.
But he wins matches.
Yeah, but he actually wins matches, and he's over. He's the people love him.
Well, I think he's that character that can't get out of his own way. He's got demons. He's just when he gets close to being successful, he fucks up somehow and gets suspended. Smacks Sammy Guevara in the mouth, gets suspended. Gets in an argument with John Moxley, gets suspended. Getting ready to make a big run, decides he's going to Japan and win that belt. I don't know if he's okay to me. He's not the greatest wrestler I've ever seen, but he's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And I think that is him. This Eddie Kingston right here is Eddie Kingston. There is no. His name isn't Eddie Shabbat, right? This is his. I'm pretty sure this is his real name. If not, it's probably Eddie. Forget about it. You know, it's like he is that guy. He is that fucking dude.
Yeah. And
I do not want to take that spinning back fist.
And to your point, really quick, Jason, like you were saying, he kind of reminds me of the modern day Barry Windham in the fact that not his wrestling ability, but the fact that every time he was in line for a major push, Barry always did something to kind of not fuck it up in a bad way, but like, you know, he was in line for a push in WCW. They kind of started going with it. Then he goes to WWE. He's like, he gets a little perturbed and goes to WWE.
Did he have a drinking problem too?
He might have.
I want to say he had a drinking problem, and then Bo Dallas has a drinking problem, and like that whole family's got problems.
But no, I look at him like you said, like, you know, you're right. You know, whenever something good looks like it's about to happen, something kind of comes along and fucks up. Usually of Eddie Kingston's own making, but you know, at the same time, and again, you're right. He's not the best wrestler out there. He's not, you know, he's not a Kurt Angle. He's not a Brock Lesnar. He's not a Cody Rhodes. But he's
a striker.
Yeah, he
has a striker. That's it.
Yeah, he has an appeal, and he has a like. He's and again, not trying.
He reminds me of every 90% of indie wrestlers I come across or deal with or book. Out of shape, you know, just they look like they just came from the bar and they're headed back there after their match. Like it's I don't know. Eddie
don't talk about Jeremy Stone like that.
I do apologize that by the way, did not lose on Saturday. Still
I've got to take my Friday shots at
still undefeated. He will jump into the chat and give you the Rick Knox deal.
The fuck you.
The fuck you. So, but yeah, no, Eddie Kingston is. I don't know what they do with him now, right? I mean, he's one of those guys. Remember, we say Cody needs to complete the story, and this guy needs to complete the story. But what they do with him moving forward? What do they do with him? I mean, what do they do? Like this was his deal.
They hide him on Ring of Honor now.
Okay, all right. How long does he hold the Ring of Honor title?
Depends on, I mean, who the hell. They didn't really have any competitors for Claudio.
Yeah. There's only one guy that I want to see carry that Ring of Honor title.
Adam Cole, baby.
Dalton Castle, baby. Dalton Castle. Give it to Dalton, baby. I love Dalton Castle.
Because you like the boys.
I like that. Hey, who doesn't? Like who doesn't like the boy? Like he's feeding them seed out of his hand now. Like the guy should hold every.
I don't want anything to do with the seed he's feeding him.
Whatever. I love Dalton Castle. Anyway, congratulations, Eddie Kingston. Let's see what you do now, right? Let's see what you do now. So.
And here's the thing about it for me, and I will say this, and you know we can.
Do we care about Rampage spoilers?
Oh, you're talking about the battle, whatever the... No, I don't... No. We can spoil it. Fuck it. Let's spoil it.
The Bucks and Peg Page are the new
ROH... say that they already won!
The ROH 6-man trio champs, wherever the fuck they are.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they won us from the embassy. Yeah.
The Mogul rejects, or where the hell they are.
I'll tell you what. I wasn't a big fan of
that. Get Brian Cage back on the main roster doing shit. Or Brian Cage, please.
And I swear when I drive, I was not a Prince Nana, or I think it's Prince Nana. It's Prince Nana, right? I was not a fan of this guy, but I tell you what, bro. And we need a dance off between Prince Nana and Daniel Garcia.
Did you see the post Dynamite clip of Garcia
and Tony Khan?
Tony Khan, Jesus Christ!
Tony
Khan could dork himself up anymore.
If you didn't think Tony Khan was a special kind of guy, you need to check out him doing Daniel Garcia's dance at the end of on Wednesday. It's a sight. It's a sight, and it proved one thing, that Tony Khan is never getting laid.
Yeah.
Even with the amount of money he has.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh.
But I need a dance off between Prince Nana and Daniel Garcia. And I swerve when I drive, and I swerve.
We need a dance off with Jonathan Cross and Prince Nana.
At first they'd lose. They lose because my dancing chops, bro, because of doing all these weddings. By the time November comes, bro, you're not gonna be able to touch me. No one's gonna be able to touch me. My worm is, I got one of the tightest robots.
Okay, you doing the worm?
He'll be in the new Stomp the Yard movie or whatever the hell they call the cheerleader movies or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny. Real quick, let's look at the chat here. What's up, boys? Zach Goins says, yo. We got yes, Kevin Erickson. We love Kevin. Still undefeated, Jeremy Stone. He said, talking about refs earlier. At least he's not a former PCW ref. Todd Myers. That guy's a fucking toad. So Eddie versus the Peacock would be great. Yes, Micah, I totally agree. Anytime we get Dalton Castle on is fucking
good.
gold.
He's good. It is entertaining to watch.
If you've ever seen him live, bro, he is every bit as great live. Oh yeah.
The last DC Dynamite I went to last year, he was on Dark before they got rid of the Dark matches.
I love that in the middle of the match, him and the boys just run around the ring, flapping their wings. I mean, he's the greatest. All right, speaking of cocks, go ahead.
When we went to what was the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view that they had?
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the poster. Final Battle.
Final Battle. Thank you. My brain blank. When we went to Final Battle several years back, they were Dalton Castle and the boys were there, and like you said, seeing them live. I mean, Wyatt and I were sitting. We were watching. Like, this is one of the greatest gimmicks out there right now. So, like,
that should be the new Jonathan Cross attire for his return.
It's very possible. I will. It might. I will order a boa.
Just don't have Jeremy Stone wear anything like the boys.
Just a thong. A bedazzled thong for Jeremy Stone. So let's move on real quick. USA Network has picked up a new wrestling program and got rid of one.
It's part of the Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso trade.
Gotcha. Oh, God, I didn't even think about that. So that's actually a good move. That's a good move.
Yeah.
So USA has picked up the rights to Smackdown. Fox, I guess Fox is no longer in the wrestling game since probably WWE said, hey, we are not bringing in Punk. Sorry, Fox. So they're out of the wrestling game.
That would only been a 3-month contract.
Yeah, most likely. And heard some Punk news about that too when he was on Fox on that. What was the show they had? They had a show where Punk was on for WWE.
Oh yeah, that was what. Wasn't that during the pandemic?
Don't know, but it was him and what's Mox's wife's name?
Renee Parker.
Yeah, Renee. Yeah, Renee Moxley. And who, I don't know who else was on that show because I didn't watch it, but supposedly he was a diva there also, hard to deal with. But anyway, moving on. This is not CM Punk hour.
Yeah, we've wasted enough of our podcasting talking about that fucking loser.
Yeah, so anyway, so Fox is no longer in the wrestling game. USA Network has picked up Smackdown, but they have not extended a deal or come up with a deal for Raw. Ricky, what does where does Raw end up? Do they end up staying on USA with NXT? Because NXT they haven't picked up an NXT deal either.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if USA wouldn't try and get all of WWE shows, but I mean, I could honestly see them maybe going to another TV provider. You know, they usually have two to begin with, but in all honesty, I see them staying with USA.
But here's the thing. Okay, if they let's just say for the sake of it, like they go with something, or Raw goes somewhere else. Who is out there that I mean, again, not saying that there are people that wouldn't be.
Scotty wants to see Spike TV.
Yeah, like because that's the thing. Like WWE had Spike TV lined up. You know, like there's no real network out there. Like most of the networks are already established. And
whoa! Somebody will make room to get that 3-hour window. All the sponsors and whatnot for WWE, man, that's big money.
I mean, it's big money, but again, there's. I look at like what's out there. I mean, again, I don't have cable, so like only networks I really know are like TBS, TNT, USA, and a couple others. But most of the network, yes, okay, there's big money in WWE, but there's not the same kind of money there was 10 years ago. There's not the same kind of money there was 20 years ago. So,
it's more money.
Huh? No, not really. It's actually less.
What?
Hence why WWE was trying to get this deal done with Endeavor before the rights deals came up, because they're using the merger to kind of try to pump their rights fees back up again, because WWE
that was also so Vince could get himself back on the ship.
I mean, yes, to get himself back on the ship, part of it is the rights fees, part of it's the money. So I feel like, again, I'm looking at out there, and it's like, all right, you're not going to drop this on Food Network, you're not going to drop this on Discovery, you're not going to drop what other networks are out there that are really, without like having other things already established? You definitely aren't going to drop it on TNT or TBS.
No. Oh, all right, so tell me this: why would they already have a deal with Peacock? Why not NBC?
See, now there's an interesting thing, because NBC would be an interesting choice, except for the fact that Raw has never been a network show. SmackDown always was, at least in the very beginning. It went from UPN to CW, then it went on to cable when they transferred over to Sci-Fi, which I believe is an NBC Universal.
Right. I think it's Universal now or whatever. Yeah, it's yeah.
And then they went to, if I remember right, they went back to CW and then to Fox, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. They jumped. I can't remember. They jumped a couple of other jumps in between. But overall, SmackDown has been a network show. Raw never has. So do you? And here's the other thing. Not that there's much good network television out there anymore, because most people do streaming and whatnot. But does NBC take out a time block of 8 to 11 of their network television on Monday night?
Well, there's a writer's strike going on right now, so it's just reruns. So why not? Pat McAfee's on. Where's Pat McAfee now?
I don't even know.
College Game Day.
ESPN. He's on ESPN. Why not ESPN? Why not Disney? Why not ABC?
ESPN does post on their sports app. They have a WWE section. They've had one for years now.
Yeah.
But didn't I? And again, I could be completely off. Didn't I hear something about that ESPN looked at the prospect of it, but kind of changed their mind because they already have too much else going on?
Do you remember when Global used to be on ESPN, and there were a couple other? They used to have what was the one where Patriot was on? The Patriot.
You're talking.
Was that Global?
No, you're talking. not. I keep saying I want to say AEW, but it's the one up in Minnesota. Vern Gagne's.
Yeah, but that wasn't Global Wrestling.
No, that was Why can't I think of it? I keep saying wanting to say AEW, but it's not AEW. It's a. God.
I think, listen, and to me, ESPN should be, or Disney, probably ESPN. Well, it's Disney, but either way, should be the number one spot to land. So you get your 4-hour show, you get your 4-hour Raw, right? You don't put it up on Monday. You forget Monday. I'm sorry, 3 hours. You don't put it on Monday against.
Yeah, because you can't because of Monday Night Football.
AWA.
Okay. You don't put it on Mondays anymore. You get rid of Monday Night Raw, right? You put it on Thursday. They're going to kill it on Thursday. They're going to destroy it on Thursday. And then you let Hardway Wrestling start their own highlight show on ESPN, and we just do highlights of Monday Night Raw. We do 30 minutes. We're 40 minutes into it. We haven't really got into the topics yet, but we're do an hour highlight. Talk about this. Talk about that. Let Scotty use his soup spoon. I got it, boys. We're going to ESPN. Yeah, woo! We're there. Yeah,
I'll be fine with ESPN. We got to get Michael Cole, Corey Graves out. And bring in Stephen A. and Pat McAfee.
No way. You let all this, everybody stay the same because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're going to use them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, who knows where they're going to end up? I'm probably going to stay on USA. They'll probably end up coming up with something. USA, they've been with USA forever, and they're not bringing back silk stockings anytime soon. So they're going to have to keep something in that time slot. So
yeah.
All right.
I got a feeling you were a big fan of silk stockings.
I've mentioned it twice now in a row. I've never seen the show ever. I did like Monk. Right? I did like Monk. And then I liked Rhonda Shear's Up All Night.
Okay.
He was up all night with silk stockings.
Well, I don't remember much of Rhonda Shear, what she had to say. I just remember her boobies. So anyway, all right, let's move on. We're going to move on to WWE releases. It happens every year. We're not going to let's not try to shit on these guys. They did lose their job. Some of them are going to land on their feet. Some of them are not going to wrestle ever again. Right, and it happens. It's part of the game. But I saw a picture of Jackson Riker is now a police officer in North Carolina. Yeah.
It was.
So I mean, some of these guys land on their feet, but they don't land on their feet where back in wrestling. Now we've had some releases before, right? We had Cody Rhodes was released, he has to be out of his contract or one or the other. He went on to make himself a big star in the Indies. Look where he's at now, right? Braun Strowman released a couple years ago, gone forever. He did a couple things with the do your own narrative or with that what's that dude's name?
EC3.
EC3.
Yeah, that room where you couldn't even do a suplex or your feet would go through the ceiling tiles.
Yeah. So
that should be Braun Strowman. Like DC3 should have been a Braun Strowman nickname because of how big he is. That's plain size.
But what I'm getting at, some guys make it, get fired or released, and they come back. Right, Emma. And we're going to talk about her. She was released. This will be her 12th time being released from the WWE.
Released more times than Bruce Pritchard.
Not quite, but it's getting there. So the first release was Mustafa Ali. That was the first one we heard. We actually didn't know he was being released. He just said he wasn't coming back.
Now, was he a part of the releases, or was he one of those ones that just asked out of his contract? That's.
He asked out of his contract a couple years ago, and then they kept him. I think they signed him a little longer or whatever. But he was one of the releases, so he wanted to be out. So they just, he's part of the releases. So, and Mustafa Ali they just named him to be in this next pay per view against Dom.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, now it's gonna be. Well, no, he's taking on Dragon Lee on Raw, I think.
Yeah, but they booked him for a pay per view versus Dom.
I think what was their next one's No Mercy or something.
No Mercy, yeah. So Mustafa Ali, super talented guy, super creative guy, great gear.
A hell of a showing against Gunther for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, and then they sent him down to NXT.
Yeah, was that one of the shows they did over in was that Saudi?
It was. Yeah, it was.
That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. So I just think that he's one of those guys that's just not happy with his creative. They give him a little bit of a something, and he's just not happy. He wants more. And I guess I like that. The guy's hungry, and he's not settling for bullshit. So
yeah.
Just
really quick as we go through a lot of these names, there's only one name on the list that I'm at. Like, again, I'm not gonna write.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Let me finish. Like, most of these guys, whether they're younger or older, like they were hungry, and that's the thing that I think bothers me the most about this list. Is a lot of these guys could have been a lot better in the company, had they been given better creative, had they been used better. Young, old, whatever, I don't care. So when you talk about not ragging on, I don't want to rag on most of them, because most of these guys should still be here, because I feel like they had a lot more to contribute to the company.
Well, let's keep in mind there's a lot of people in this list that are depth people, right? They're filling out rosters. They're doing the side shows. They're going to towns on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and whatever, doing all these different house shows. So again, Mustafa Ali, first one to fall. Does he end up in AEW?
Maybe. I see him probably more going to Impact right now. He definitely has, and this is going to be the interesting thing, is how many people will Tony pick up out of this? But I think he's more useful in Impact. I think he's got, while Impact's not the best creatively all the time, I think that his potential could be better served out down there than versus at AEW.
Gotcha.
But that's
all right. What do you think, Rick?
I don't know. Ali's got a background as a police officer as well, so he could just go back to his pre-wrestling career, if anything.
That's the sound of the police.
And again, how long down the road do you think some of these guys might get re-signed by WWE?
Yeah,
it has happened. Ali has been around a while. He's done pretty well, aside from not being given any title runs. But he's a pretty solid wrestler. I could see him being one that they re-sign eventually.
One other interesting question to ask about all these releases. Okay, we know that the merger has been basically.
There's Mustafa Ali is riding around right now. He's doing a ride along.
They're going to pick up John Moxley down the street. He's been dropped on his stack of dimes.
We know WWE is now officially under the Endeavor umbrella. They're part of the TKO thing now. But my question is, with all these releases, I'm sure the board of directors went, all right, who do you think is your weakest guys? And Vince probably gave them a list. And I guess they agreed with it because all these releases happened. But how long before you, let's say Vince in 5 or 6 months decides, hey, I'm out of here. does a stock buyout, buys
Or they kick his ass out because of his hush money scandals.
yeah, and then all of a sudden,
Papa
it's
Tripp says, "All right, I'm bringing you back. I'm bringing you back, and I'm going to bring you back."
that's just something to think about as well. Like the fact that we might, if Vince goes in the next 6 months to a year, some of these people might be back pretty quick. So it happened before; it could happen again.
All right, let's move on. One of Scotty's favorites, Top Dollar.
Flop dollar.
Flop Dollar. The guy with probably one of the best topees in the business.
Maybe they should sign with AEW and put him with Prince Nana.
I hope so. He's got some pretty sweet dance moves too. What about the rest of the group? What's the group called?
Hit Row.
Hit Row. Thank you. I actually thought the whole group was. I thought the whole group was called Top Dollar.
Top dollar, bottom dollar.
Skid Row now.
They're not getting a dollar. That's right now.
Yeah, no dollars. So, I don't know what to say about him. He wasn't on enough TV for me, and when he was on TV,
LA Knight was kicking his ass.
Yeah, LA Knight was kicking their ass. I think there were a lot of times where these guys were talking during commercial breaks, and nobody ever saw or heard what they said. So, I wasn't really
rapped one night. I think when they made their roster debut, and I said, "The hell with this," and turned it off.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of B-Fab and what's the other guy's name?
I can't remember.
No idea.
They're so generic. I don't even remember.
Yeah, these guys were depth guys, so they never really caught on. So I know it's very understandable why they are not here.
They don't have Prince Nana.
What's that?
They don't have Prince Nana.
They don't. Maybe they need Prince Nana. I mean, when I serve, when I drive. Okay, kind of stop because I can't. Every time I think of Nana, I gotta. Anyway. A guy that I'm super surprised that they let this guy go because this guy looks like $1 million. Not the best wrestler in the world, but still a ton of potential. Riddick Moss.
Yeah. Yep.
Super shocked about that one.
I was very surprised, and I'm a little mad on this one. And let's go to Emma next as well because they just got engaged. Okay, they literally let Moss and Emma go back to back.
It was a package deal.
Huh?
It was a package deal.
I'm just like, so really, they literally just got engaged. They post their engagement photos online for everybody to see, and now it's like WWE says, "Bye-bye, you're gone." Like, really? Like you fire these people?
Well, this isn't the first time the Triple H just had to fire somebody on their wedding day.
Yeah.
Okay, so
don't worry. Emma can start her own OnlyFans, and now that she's gone, and make up the money in a heartbeat.
I'm in.
It's true.
I'm in. So she's like a big time travel agent, not an agent, but like a travel influencer. Yeah. So I think she's, regardless of whatever, she's good to go. Emma's good to go.
Oh, yeah.
I just think I think it's kind of bullshit. Like you just
what was the dance thing she used to do with the whatever she used to do right before she did some kind of corner spot?
That one I don't remember.
Okay. Well, maybe it's just me. I gotta stop thinking about these people. Okay.
Ladies, in the comment section of the chat, if anybody's in there, just comment Prince Nana all day long and make Jason just keep dancing. Let's do.
Micah is well. Speaking of, Micah is correct. That group was better with Swerve.
Yes, it was a lot better with Swerve Scott. That is for sure.
Saw flop in the Indies, wrong career for him. Yeah. ATCW will probably book him. Give me. Oh, okay. We're gonna get to this. Give me Elias, Rick Boogs as a team, a guitar playing nut jobs. Yeah, I like that too. Boogs, we're gonna get to that. Boogs doesn't even have to wrestle; he just cuts promos and his stupid candy bars. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go back to they're getting ahead of us. All right, so Emma's gone. Riddick Moss is gone.
But if Elias is gone, is Ezekiel gone?
Well, that is the $1 million question right now. And honestly, I liked Ezekiel better. Right? He had better hair.
He looked like a Jack version of the kid's dad on the Rugrats.
Funny. All right. So speaking of Elias is gone, and he's been kind of floundering anyway. They really did not ever find, like, it started out he was this traveling vagabond or just this roving guy, this homeless hobo, whatever, that rolled around and played the guitar, and he'd show up in the middle of while somebody was doing a promo and just walk behind him. Like, they never really found a good spot for Elias, I don't think. Do you remember Big Elias?
He had one big match against Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title one year, and it was actually a pretty solid match. And at one point, I thought it was going to be where they put the belt on him and give him a huge push. And I think he ended up in an Elimination Chamber match as well. But, of course, he was, I think, one of the first ones eliminated really quickly. Other than that, not a whole lot.
Ashanti the Adonis was the other.
Yes, Ashanti, that's right. From Skid Row.
He's changing his name. Wrestling News just came out and said that he's just changed his name to Dala. Right, so that's his salary. He's naming himself in salary. So, Elias. One real big push, but nothing like, I don't know. Every time somebody gets in the ring with a guitar, you want them to be either JJ or a Double J or Honky Tonk Man. The guy's talented. The guy musically is talented. He released a couple CDs while he was with the WWE, and his stuff is actually pretty good.
And not only that, but I did like the gimmick. Like, when he came out, like, his promo skills were really good in my view. Like, I love the WWE Walk with Elias stuff. I thought it had some potential. I thought he kind of had a way to command the crowd. He's not the best promo ever, but he definitely had some skills that were. It just, like, you got into it. I got into the Walk with Elias stuff. I thought it was cool.
But it doesn't hold a candle to let Zeke speak.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Another release, Aaliyah, who wasn't around long enough to really, I don't know. She came in. She was a tag team partner with Raquel Rodriguez, correct?
Yeah.
Her whole big thing was like a 3-second win over Natalia, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah, and then Mommy did the same thing a couple weeks later, right?
So, yeah. And it looked much better.
Yeah, Aaliyah was one of those casualties of Raquel Rodriguez and her damned "I'll never be a tag title holder because all my partners get hurt." She was one of them. So, good look, not the greatest. I mean, she's new. She's green, right? She's green. So, Aaliyah hit the bricks. Boogs, Rick Boogs. I hit the wrong button. Bam! There it is. Yeah, Rick Boogs.
I liked when he did Shinsuke's entrance on guitar.
Yeah, that was actually.
I mean, that was good. Yeah.
Another talented guy.
I think that was McAfee's favorite thing, him standing up on the table playing the air guitar.
Okay, let's look at the group here. The group AEW would have to cut Elias, but not Ezekiel. Just keeping a jab at Owens. He's not real. It's the same guy. It's the same guy. Are you guys not paying attention? It's the same guy.
That was good.
Yeah, Rick Boogs is. I always liked when he was another one of those guys that stood in the back, and you would walk by, and all of a sudden you'd see he'd have a flex band. He'd just be in the back going, "Oh yeah." I would like to have seen Rick Boogs and a part of the Alpha Academy.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah,
He fits in with them perfectly.
absolutely.
Like Rick always looked to me like a cross between his outfit kind of looked like a Richard Simmons, but but face no, his face looked like Dan Severn.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree.
So it was like this weird mishmash of like tough guy meets weird athletic trainer kind of thing.
Yeah, I would say he kind of his body's built like Jonathan Cross, and his face is more like Jared from Subway. Okay, we're gonna.
He could fit in with playing at Peacock and the boys.
Oh my! Please add him. I'd love to have him eat seed out of Dalton's hand.
Might be the other way around.
Well, whatever. All right, so we got the final two. These are the big ones. Okay, first is Shelton Benjamin, and the other is Dolph Ziggler. These are the two biggest ones. Shelton has been with the company forever. He was released. I actually do not know where Shelton went after that. Did he go to Impact a long time ago, or
in Japan? I think at one point.
Right. I think they missed. They really missed the boat with Cedric or Cedric Sheldon. Yeah, one and the same. With Sheldon, great wrestler, has looked the same. He's 90 years old now. He's looked the same since day one.
Yeah.
Day one.
He's like Bobby Lashley. He doesn't age.
Black don't crack, bro. Black do not crack. That is not racist. That is an actual saying. Check it. Look it up.
Yeah. Will's guy was over the one time for the pay-per-view. He was drinking all my Yinglings.
Oh, Robert. Yeah, Robert's 95 years old. Robert's 95 years old. He's just, and that's what his said. Black don't crack, and he doesn't look like he's 95. Actually, Robert's 50 something. And he's
and I thought he was like my age.
Yeah, right. Well, you look old. Anyway, so Sheldon's gone. I think they missed the boat on Sheldon. I think they should have kept the Hurt Business together. They should have put him
with Bobby and the
Street Profits. Street Profits. Yeah, you sound like me now, forgetting names. Yeah, I would like to have seen them stay with the Street Profits. And this is one of the guys I think that they do rehire.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all have a 90-day non-compete, by the way. So in 90 days, Shelton is going to end up somewhere.
Yeah.
The other guy is a guy he has been a WWE guy since day one. He's been nowhere else. Dolph Ziggler,
Grand Slam champion and an OG of the Spirit Squad.
Yeah,
the only one of the Spirit Squad to actually have a normal career after that.
Yeah.
Because all the other ones either quit the business or went to indie shows and then quit the business. Like, none of the other ones survived. Dolph is the only one that survived out of that.
Yeah. Do you have the stats? Do you have the stats that I put up for Dolph Ziggler? Do you have it in front of you, or do I need to grab it?
Hold on.
I can grab it. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler, 1,554 TV matches with WWE, third most in WWE history. Right.
Wow.
Two-time heavyweight champion, one-time NXT champion. That was recent. 6-time Intercontinental champion. And honestly, that's where he needed to be. He's a mid-card guy. Honestly, if you watch, this guy's the best bumper in the business.
Oh, yeah.
Best bumper in the business. Two-time United States champion, 4-time tag team champion, and 1-time Money in the Bank winner, 2012. So, honestly, he hasn't done anything for months now. They put him with Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode got hurt. They really didn't have anything for him. They sent him down to NXT. He won an NXT belt off of Braun Breaker, I believe. Then turned around and lost it. But again, this is a guy that they could have sent him to Florida.
Yep.
Him and Sheldon both. Send them the boys to Florida. let them work in a performance center with these guys, renegotiate their contracts, but keep them involved because these two guys are WWE guys lifers, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, if anything, I still think Ziggler could still go probably at least another 5 years.
Longer, bro. Longer.
But,
Look at him. Look at him.
He does have outs though. I mean, he could go to AEW with his brother Nemeth.
Yeah,
But
Ryan.
not that Tony Khan would know what to do. I mean, it might if he went to AEW, it could help his brother out.
Yeah.
I mean, Ziggler's a known name.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very accomplished career, even though he's a bubblegum mashup of Shawn Michaels and Mr. Ass.
Yeah, but he's like he's a top guy. He's a top guy. If he goes to WWE or AEW, he's the top guy immediately. Yeah, him and Edge, when they both get to AEW, they're top guys.
Well, and here's the thing that I don't understand, especially with Shelton. With Shelton being on the roster or on the payroll, like he wasn't an active wrestler, so why wasn't he already being used as an agent either on Raw, SmackDown, and going down to NXT, working with I don't know, like Dolph, same deal. Like why didn't they already have these guys in positions to Dolph could have been a great NXT heel, be the guy that really you kind of put him in the mix to get some of their top baby faces over, and vice versa. He could have been a top.
Well, they already did that with Braun Breaker.
Yes, they did, didn't they? I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Braun.
There goes Ezekiel. The real deal is these guys can still go.
Yeah.
And they want to go. And they want to be at the top. And they want to be in the mix. And they want to wrestle. And they want to be here. And they want to be there. They don't want to be – they might not want to be trainers, full-time trainers. And I'm sure that WWE, if they were smart, they gave these guys the option to do it. And, it is what it is. But they lost two good ones in my book, boys.
I got a feeling they will probably be back.
I think one of these guys, if not both, gets re-signed before their 90-day no-compete.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of like baseball or football where they say, hey, listen.
You've been designated for assignment AAA, but you'll be called right back up in 3 days.
They might have said, hey, go to AEW, go wherever you want to go, see what they offer you, bring it back to us. If we can match it or beat it, we'll do it. If we can't, then we'll move on. So, and we'll see. It'll be a couple months here before we figure it out. All right, let's go to the comments here real quick. AEW would have to cut. Everybody wants to cut Elias and not Ezekiel. Ezekiel's the favorite brother. Surprise, Kevin Erickson, surprising none cuts. Nikita Lyons. Why not cut her, Vince? Have you seen her ass? I think that's part of the reason she's injured right now. I actually think she's going to be decent. She might be the same size or a little bit smaller than Nia Jax, but not as dangerous.
Yeah, it's all in her ass.
Yeah. So, Nikita Lyons did not get cut as of yet. Did not get cut. Dolph would be a huge pickup. Micah says Dolph would be a huge pickup for AEW as long as they don't pair him with his brother. I agree. Let's not put him with his brother. Let's not do that.
They could be the Hollywood hunks.
Ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's go to the comments. I did put out a question, poll question, or not really a poll question, but just a question to the group. Give us your thoughts on the WWE releases. What talent was wasted, and where should they end up? Zach says Boogs and Moss were my favorite. Hope they have a good independent run so I can get a chance to see them in person. Gotcha. Zach is a wrestler and a fanboy. Ricky put a little statement. A little bit of surprise about Ziggler. Yep, we're all surprised about Ziggler. Yeah, more comments about Ezekiel and Elias. So people are devastated over the Ezekiel and Elias. And maybe it's all bullshit. Maybe Elias is going, Ezekiel's not. So we'll find out here soon.
It'll be like Rick Rude. You'll see him on Monday Night Raw, and then you'll see her on SmackDown, and then you'll see him on Rampage like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that we'll. I don't know that we're going to get that. I think they fixed that issue with with the non-compete. So, all right, that's going to do us here for Hardway Wrestling. You guys got anything else before we get out of here?
No,
I got nothing. It is the weekend. There are 4 hours of wrestling tonight. Do you believe that shit? They have 2 hours of Rampage.
Well, it was all pre-taped, right?
Dynamite Grand Slam. Yeah, I heard they did 1 hour before Dynamite, 1 hour after Dynamite.
Yeah. Yeah, we should probably get into their rating or get into their attendance at some point, because I heard that they had less than 3,000 people at this last show, which is. Whew.
Was that the Cincinnati show?
I think it was the one after that.
Arthur Ashe.
Yeah, Arthur Ashe. So
for Dynamite Grand Slam, and the card was phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Those were some pretty solid matches.
Again, we've talked about it. It's too much. It's not special. It's they wrestle Wednesday, they wrestle Friday, they wrestle Saturday. You know, they just give me a break. Give me a break.
What happened to the 1 day a week thing that they were like? Tony Khan was always talking about the very beginning. They'll only wrestle 1 day a week, and this, that, and like.
He popped out of Julia Hart's hat with a new idea, and his new idea was, I got to keep CM Punk as long as I can, but I got to separate him from the group.
But even before that, they went from Dynamite to Rampage, and then to Collision, and then on top of that, even before Collision, they had the YouTube stuff, which sometimes was taped before. It was
always before Dynamite.
But sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes they would do a smaller separate show. Like Jason said, it's not special anymore. It's not, So, why do they expect people to show up when they keep running the same places over and over and over again?
Agreed. All right, well, that's going to do it here for Hardway Wrestling. Thank you, boys. We will be back again on Monday with hopefully no more releases, or if there is, it'll give us content.
Pizza Cutter news.
Yeah, we'll probably have some Pizza Cutter news. I'm going to be busy all weekend long with weddings, so maybe we'll get a Pizza Cutter news out of Scotty or Ricky, or maybe we re-sign Wyatt before the end of the weekend. Who knows? Wyatt's got a 13-minute non-compete clause, so he's actually got 9 minutes left before he can actually go and do whatever he wants to do. So. All right, that's going to do us here for Hardway. Thank you again, boys. Do not forget, this is the most important thing. Like, subscribe, ring the bell if you're on YouTube. Actually, I did not even look and see if we had anything on YouTube. We have 5 viewers on YouTube right now, and nobody chats. Why?
What's the chat on Facebook?
Let's look.
The chat on Facebook.
Stream, excellent stream settings. Yeah, all good there. Well, anyway, hopefully you come into the chat and you say, "Hey, that's Scott. He's a sexy son of a bitch," and they say, "I like this. I need this is my wrestling porn, and I'm going to need something later on to So, Scotty nips on Scotty.
The hamburger meat.
Yeah. He said, "Hey." He swerved when he drives, and he swerves when he drives.
Oh my gosh!
All right. That's gonna do it here for. Listen, my phone is listening to me. Somehow, I must have said Siri. It is recording everything I'm saying. So, or I just called the police. One or the other. So again, thank you.
We haven't heard the guy on the motorcycle drive by yet.
It should be soon. He gets off work at 6. All right. So don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell. We are also on all of. Oh, I thought I heard a bike. Timing. Boom. We're also on all your podcasting platforms, iTunes. Scotty, you did find us on.
Found us. I got us on Google Play now.
We're on Google Play. We are on Spotify. We're on Pornhub. We're on every place that you want to see us. Go right now to Pornhub and type in. Just type in Scotty. Just type in Scotty and see what comes up. I mean, you might get lucky.
I'm sure if you type in Hardway, there'll be plenty that'll come up.
That's right. Go to your web browser and type in Hardway and click images. That's exactly what you want to do. Click images. But if you do not like to look at us and you rather just hear us, please go to all our podcasting platforms. Like those, hit the downloads. I don't care if you subscribe, unsubscribe. Do it 37 times. That would make me happy. That would give me crazy stats, and I'd like to see that kind of stuff. So also leave us a review. Tell us what you think. We are just a bunch of guys that love wrestling. We don't have a lot of insight. I do have one insight to the business, and they're very far outside the business right now. So
the anonymous general manager.
So again,
there's the bike. There's the bike.
There it is. He gets on. And that's it. That means that's it. That's it for our show. The bike goes by. Sunday. Anyway. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, we'll see you guys next time.
On the hard way.
Peace.
We're not done. We are not done. I forgot to give you guys a Samoa Joe send off. You'll see it later on. We'll give you guys. Oh, I stopped recording. Son of a bitch.
What did you fucking do?
Hi. Oh shit. Oh no, wait a minute. I'm still recording. We are still recording. So stop recording. I'm giving everybody the Samoa Joe send off. So that is it for us. We'll see you guys next time.
On the hard way.